There we go. There is sound. See if we can get our webcam working. I don't know why everything disconnected. Our NVIDIA broadcast is just saying, no thank you. Let's try relaunching. No camera selected. Weird. I wonder if there's an update. Let's see. Okay, that's working. Oh yeah, there must have been an update. Like everything. All my settings are gone. Okay, that should now work. If you go properties, that. Hello, there we are. Hi. I think every now and again, either OBS or NVIDIA has an update, and then it loses track of all my settings. But we're back. And I'm in a very comfortable shirt today. I went on a run before the stream, and I was like, I want to be in something comfortable. It's been a minute. I haven't streamed for a little bit longer than I try to. I try to just stream a little more frequently. We are moving offices at work, and so my day's been really full with that. Also hosted a week-long game jam last week, and most of it was virtual, but some of it was in person. So between those two, I was pretty slammed. And then there was some nights where I just needed to like really kind of like lock in and focus on getting work done. So yeah, here we are. We are back though. Oh, I should notice my kick needs to be reconnected. Okay, well, sorry, kick. You're not going to get to see today because I don't want to have to go through that right now. But if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, those are both working right now, so that's good. We should be getting new pixel raccoons soon. I've seen them, but I haven't got the files yet for them. So pretty soon we'll have more variety for our little stream avatars, which will be fun. Let's talk about the game. Where is? Oh no, that button break too. Let's see. Let's test our buttons. Okay, we have that one. We have that one. Okay, so we just need to fix this. This one here needs a fix. We need that one. Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, there has been some art updates. Basically the engineering is just taking a little longer than I wanted to kind of find the fun and get the game loop just right. So I even though it kind of breaks our own rule a little bit, I wanted to get the art moving and not have to wait any longer. And we'll just kind of develop in parallel. And of course, there's a risk that the pretty art is maybe influencing or hiding some clunky mechanics. Maybe not influencing, but hiding clunky mechanics because it just looks pretty, and that can be a risk. But I think we're going to take that risk in the hope to finish the game sooner, so we can keep moving fast. But yeah, I mean, where to start? I feel like a lot of things have changed. The biggest, I'll just kind of go big, and then we'll see things different as they come up because I can remember everything that we've changed. Big thing that is different is we are having a new strong influence on the game. So before, when I was designing this game, it was really around a theme, starting with like the fantasy fulfillment, right? It's like you're performing a heist. And then we had some constraints, like it's a party game. It's going to be played kind of like Jackbox is played. So we knew kind of the hardware. It's going to be mobile phones and television. And so we had some structure. But beyond that, there wasn't like a specific game we were trying to emulate or a specific genre even other than a Jackbox like party game. But that's, if you've played the Jackbox games, there's a variety of game types and mechanics in there. So we started really, really wide, and we just started building things. And what we've come onto is sort of a design that ended up being similar to something that we weren't even familiar with until, at least myself, like as kind of the lead developer on this project. I didn't realize that there was some games that actually have some good influences. So that would be things like Peglin and Peggle. I don't know if anyone remembers Peggle. I don't think Peggle's so much of a thing anymore, but PopCap made it. It was like a huge mobile game for a while, and I never really played it. Like I was very like aware of its existence, sort of like Candy Crush. I don't know if I ever played Candy Crush, but like obviously I'm familiar with it. Um, but Peglin is a game I'd heard of. We've actually been at conferences where we've had booths. Actually, we had one, I think it was DreamHack. We were right across from Peglin. I never got around to playing it or even really looking much into it other than seeing there was a game called Peglin and it had a cute little goblin. But we've kind of landed on this Plinko idea and then discovered like, wait, these games already do that. How do they do it? What works well for them? So getting some influence and inspiration from existing games, which is a great idea. So you're not having to reinvent the wheel on everything. We'll talk about mostly Peglin because I think Peglin has more interesting things happening. Like Peggle's super polished, lots of juice, really solid there. But what Peglin does is it basically you drop a ball down like Plinko, and your ball has different traits or stats, and it's a roguelike, and so like you collect different balls and you can make synergies and things like that. How we're different, we're the same in the fact that we're dropping an object. I mean, under the hood, it's a ball. It looks like a raccoon, but it's a sphere collider. We're dropping a ball and it's bouncing on these pegs and hitting objects. But how we are different, which I think makes it interesting, and I don't feel bad like pulling influences from these games because we're pretty different. One is it's multiplayer. Neither of those games are multiplayer. Peggle does have a dual mode where you basically, it's a 2-player mode and you take turns seeing who can get the most damage. Let me be here because it's more fidgety and more interesting to watch because I'm fidgeting while I'm talking. But yeah, so there's dual mode, but it's really just like high score. It's not really a super thought out mode. Maybe it is. Maybe that's rude to say it's not super thought out. It's just a fairly straightforward mode. And then Peglin doesn't have a multiplayer mode that I've seen, unless it's like hidden behind some secret thing, but it's not accessible that I've been able to see. So multiplayer is one big one. Obviously, there's a tech difference. We have the big TV and the phone, and we're doing more of a Jackbox format, which changes like the user experience quite a bit. So those are different. But I think the biggest thing is the gravity direction. Like we aren't just dropping straight down. Both of those games drop the ball straight down onto a pegboard, and so it's pretty much straight Plinko with basically special pegs or special balls or both. In Peggle, I haven't seen any special balls, but also I haven't gotten super far in that game. Peglin is mostly special balls, but there are some special pegs. We have these multi gravity directions. So based on where you start, you can see these white arrows tell you the direction of gravity. So if you start at 1, you're going this way. You start at 2, you're going this way. Now that's just gravity. So you like, of course, you can still bounce really far left or really far right based on how you're hitting these pegs. But you basically just pretend that the board, if I flip, like we basically pretend the board, if we're going down from number 2, is this. And if we're going down from number 1, the board is this. And it's a straight down gravity. So that's like, I think, our most unique mechanic here. With that said, we're also going through like a 3D environment. These other two games, Peglin and Peggle, have a very clear separation. Like in Peggle, you have your board and you're dropping balls on the pegboard, and then you have a little like unicorn avatar that's like in the corner and he's making faces, but there's not really like world building, or at least there's not a 3D environment that you're interacting with. They're telling a story a little bit here and there, making, getting to know characters and things like that. But there's no 3D world. In Peglin, there is the top of the screen where the little goblin is fighting like different different fantasy monsters like spiders and bats and slimes, etc. And that's actually pretty cool. But then the bottom is like the pure puzzle. So it's like you have the pegboard on the bottom, and then the fantasy RPG vibe on the top, and they're like separated. There's a DS game that did that really well. Also, it was like Tetris on the bottom, and then like a little explorer unit on the top. I forget the name of it. But yeah, so it's very separated, right? One just doesn't really do much for an environment, and the other separates the environment. We are combining them. So you are moving through this house that has objects, it has walls, and it has pegs. So that's also very unique for us. And then, of course, there's all the flavor things. Like it's a heist flavor. Different classes have different abilities, things like that. We have some story ideas that I'm excited for that will also be different. Neither they both have, those other games will have some, like, I guess, feeling of story. Peggle a little bit more, actually, because the character kind of talks and evolves with you. Peglin, you just have the combat. I don't really see much story. There's a little like text bits, but anyway, long-winded introduction to how we're reapproaching the design to be heavily influenced gameplay-wise from those. It's not a one-to-one, though. That's the challenge. Because of all the differences I mentioned, I can't sort of just reskin those game mechanics. It really still has to be pretty original, but at least now we have a reference we can keep going back to. Okay, so that is kind of contextually where we're at. Sorry, I'm catching up on a message. Sorry, one sec. Cool. Okay. So yeah, kind of what we're going to be working on today is finding ways to streamline the game experience to be a little bit more gameplay wise, like Peglin, but maybe more specifically, specific's probably not the right word, but really the goal is like, we need this game to be more straightforward. It's really hard to understand what you're doing as a player. And so I'm going to be doing various mechanics to work on that and bug fixes. Let me even pull up my little to-do list. I think if I'm lucky, it'll be, no, it's not. Okay, that's all right. I can drop this in a notepad. I think this is all of them. All right, so let me throw this over here and zoom nice and big. Okay, so yeah, some feedback was like, someone's like, I don't know what the classes do or where I'm supposed to go. So that's not really an actionable. It's just like, hey, we should work on that. I'm going to get rid of it so we can stick with actionables. Maybe put the objective on the phone. So whatever the current objective is or the thing you need to do, it should say it on the phone so you know what you need to do. I also think adding a button to mobile that you can see all the colors light up, because right now it's based on what class you're currently actively selecting, but maybe any player at any time can say like, can you relight up all the interactable colors? That might be helpful. Yeah, the concept of humans, that is a big one. We wanted it from the get-go. And then recently we kind of like said, maybe we don't do humans. It's come back. We've talked about maybe bringing humans back and having them less of a fear object. Before they were going to be like really scary and strange. Just I thought it'd be like cool stylistically, but from a story and mechanic perspective, they're going to act probably like the spotlights. So they're going to be sort of like these circles, these circles here, but they are going to be moving around, right? Moving around the environment. And if you get near the human, your raccoon will run away. With that said, now we can use the humans to maybe like tell a story. They can pathfind to certain areas and do certain things, which would be kind of cool. What else? I mentioned, yeah, spotlight around the humans. These other notes I wrote today. Yeah, there's a launch input that's really wonky that we need to fix. Maybe make colors more generic. Yeah, this is an item I'm not sure about. It's the idea that like, every item that's damaged, which now is a new feature, by the way, there's damage on pegs. You hit a peg twice, it is destroyed. Maybe there's like a damaged color. The challenge is like balancing a bunch of different colors with the kind of overwhelming thing of like there's just too many colors. So I don't know. I'm really on the fence about the colors still. Pegs need to be more obvious. People didn't realize the pegs are being destroyed. Some people didn't even realize there were pegs in the house. It's if you know they're there. If I'm like, hey, are there pegs in the house? You'd be like, yeah, I can see them. But if you're not really looking for them, they kind of blend in, which honestly was the intent. Initially, I wanted them to be hard to see because I thought it looked cooler without the pegs. They were sort of like a necessary evil for the gameplay. But I think if the biggest influence from playing Peglin and Peggle is like, let's just embrace the pegs. Let's be like, this is a Plinko style game. It is Plinko, like, and like just lean into it and own it. And so we're going to be making those more obvious. Yeah, maybe when we destroy them, we play a little particle effect. A couple things that, I mean, like, I'm really always bad at estimating how long things will take on stream because, like, I explain things and as I'm talking, it slows me down and I never know how long it'll actually take for things. So most likely we won't get most of this done, but just to write down some more things that might be fun to work on the stream. We want to build some kind of like drafting mechanic to where like you pick your crew at the beginning to where like you can say, I want this many lockpicks or I want this many whatevers. Another idea just came in recently of maybe there are just characters, like there are the Heist raccoon characters and they're just taking turns going. I think both could be interesting. I think the set characters are going to be like way more interesting from a story perspective. And it'll be way more fun to have like set characters. So I kind of like that more. But I think that it might be fun to like strategically pick your characters. So I don't know. It also might be hard on like without a tutorial of like, what am I doing? Why am I picking characters? Who do I pick? I don't know who would be good. Like people might just be kind of overwhelmed by that. So maybe we'll think through that. Like maybe decide to have drafting or set characters. Because if we have set characters, that goes back to what I keep flip-flopping, right? Like right now you can pick classes again. But if we have set characters, then it would go back to like each character has a turn and you have to do something with that character. So I don't know, it'd probably be easier to have set characters, honestly. It'd be like one less thing to build and one less thing to tutorialize. So I'm kind of already leaning towards it. I would say like make intro UX flow. So we have this cool storyboard I can share that came in just a couple hours ago from Ari on the team. Where the heck is it? Trash Heist. Let's see if I can just drag this over. Can I make this bigger? Oh, that's so bright. I apologize for the brightness. I don't think there's a way I can make it not bright though. So yeah, like there's just like little opening cinematic, right? I'm on full screen, so you can't see every frame, but that's all right. But yeah, it's just opening a little cinematic on like basically what is going to happen in the opening to give context to what the level is. And so coming up with a way to maybe I literally just cut this out and I just like flip book it kind of. And I put like a voiceover on top of it. I think that actually would be kind of fun. I love this little scene that she made where he like slams the raccoon down. He's like, get over here. It's cute. Yeah. So that could be a really fun thing to do. Getting that all built in. So is that on our list? Make intro cinematic placeholder. And I feel like there's jillion other things to do, and I just can't think of them right now. I think there were some bugs. There was some bugs. It was like doors were all opening if one open door was, I should say unlocked door was hit. And also locked doors were opening for when hit once by non-lockpick. That's confusing, I know, but basically the lockpick is the only one that can open a door in a single hit, but other classes were opening doors in a single hit. Trying to think if there's any other bugs. It was a relatively bug-free playtest. There was another request to not have pegs in front of the doors, so we might stop that. I think also I might want to remove the front door to the shed. I think that's confusing because there's a back way into the shed, and like I think that's more satisfying to get it that way. So I'm gonna say like remove shed front door. I'll show you where that's at. So like right now, there's a sequence where if you knock over this trash can, it breaks that door and then you can get into it. But there's no way to really clearly communicate that. But there's a back door entrance here that opens up later. So I think we'll just turn that into a wall. And so the only way is from the back. People are like, how the heck am I going to get that? Like, well, maybe I can go all the way through the house and like get a lucky bounce. But if they just knock over this trash can, then you will be able to get in. I think there was also another note, inactive, almost black color is hard to read. Yeah, basically like the doors turn almost like this black color when they're inactive, and so they should be this purple, which actually, yeah, maybe that's a bug. And so we need to fix that. Yeah, I think that might be it. I say that might be it. There's I know a million things. It would be nice to like get new UI implemented. I don't know if it was ever sent over to me though. Let's see, skimming through. I don't think it was. Oh wait, there it is. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we have some new UI, which could be fun to drop in. It doesn't really help our game flow, but it just might be a nice, fun thing to drop in. And I can get the little get raccoon feet merged. So we have raccoons running now, but it's on a different branch. So I got to merge branches and fix things that are different because there's going to be some conflicts. All right, so we have all of this. My target is for, oh, that's cool. When I highlight them, you can see my face light up like there's a lightsaber. That's cool. It's amazing how much bounce light that does. I mean, it's like a percentage of the screen, but it doesn't seem like that much. That's surprising to me that it has that much of an impact. Yeah, that's so much, but that's okay. I think it's just always a little intimidating over stream because I haven't done anything since I started streaming, which was, I don't know how long ago. I need to have like this up so I can see how long I'm streaming for. My goal, it's like I'm kind of new to streaming, right? Like I've just started a couple months ago. I like did some streaming for a few weeks, like a long time ago, but didn't really stick with it. But like kind of be mostly consistent. I've done it for a few weeks now, maybe a month. And what was I gonna say? Oh, and I think it's like anything where it's like you have to like build up the muscle. I think for me, talking for 3 hours straight is a lot. Like, but that is my target. Is like I want to be able to hit these like 3 hour streams. That way people can, Great if you watch the whole thing. That's amazing. But also if you like, you can come in for a little bit, hang out, all good. Um, but yeah, it's just something I have to build up to. So that's my target. I'm aiming for that. I want to see, I want to keep this open. I could just set a timer on. That would also be an effective way to do this. Let's see. So yeah, I've been streaming for 30 minutes and I haven't done anything yet. So that's why I think like whenever I make a big to-do list on stream, it's always a little nerve-wracking. Like I don't know what I can actually get done. But let's start with the easy stuff, right? Like if I can talk, like things that I can do easily while talking. But before that, I need lots to drink because not like alcohol. Like I need, maybe that's a trick. Maybe I just get really drunk and then record the stream. No, yeah, because like talking without break, I need hydration. So BRB, gonna get a drink, and I'll be right back. We back, and I have sangria. I was gonna have tea, but my tea kettle is dirty, and I didn't want to have to wash a tea kettle while y'all sat on a blank screen. So maybe I'll take another break later and wash that. But for now, bubbly water. I'm gonna try. Actually, no, I know that doesn't work. I was gonna say I'm gonna try putting on a little music quietly in my ear, but I get really distracted trying to talk and work and listen to music. I get 2 of those 3, and I'm good. Okay, let's start with the pegs, making those more visible. That's an easy one. We can do that. There's a lot of these pegs. I feel like this is going to become like a performance thing, having these all as like separate game objects eventually. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. All right. Is it because they're multiplied by black? Honestly, that does help. Let me put it on the screen. Y'all can see like the updates. Like just giving them that white tinge on the front side because they were here, right? Pretty subtle. That brings them up a lot more. I don't know if I like it, but it works. Alternatively, oh, so much better with the drink. They're super visible, right? We just like changed their primary color. I almost think I like that more because I don't like them looking super 3D, and I feel like when I add that one kind of white side, they look a little more 3D. Gray isn't bad. Just going like a gray blue. I think that's pretty visible. It's just so noisy though. You know what I mean? Like it's just so noisy. I don't like that it's so. Let's go back to the highlight color. What do these colors do? Anything? No. How about this color? Anything? No. Okay. What about this? Nothing. Actually making that's kind of wild. Oh my goodness. We could just have it like a star field, just constantly. That is obnoxious. Let's not do that. But I do wonder. I think that's okay. Maybe we'll make it a little bit noisier. I'm just playing with settings now. I really think it's going to probably come down to, maybe I can make this like a light blue, so it's like a little bit more blendy-any. I can't say any without thinking of oh my god, Severance. I was like, what is the thing called? Severance I love so much. I want to go watch an episode right now. Just kidding. All right. It is gonna be a fine line about making these like visible enough so people can see them. Versus like too visible and then they like visually distract. What if we just lowered them all, kept their colliders high, but they were more like dots on the ground? I wonder if that'll look weird. Like, why is a raccoon bouncing off of a dot on the ground? And I'm almost like going back on what I said about like embracing the peggle of it, but there's walls. Like these walls are big and visible. I think I do like them low in the ground though, if I'm being honest. And then if we go to our you can see like in scene, we can see like the peg is still there. Like the raccoon will still bounce off of that. But now they're more like dots on the ground. Let me like go all the way onto that concept. Let's like make it literally a dot on the ground. So it doesn't really have any height. And then we could take all of these colliders, which pleasantly have a consistent Y value. I think that's as subtle as it was, so I don't think that improves upon the problem at all. But I still think maybe that's the way to go, because then now maybe if we make them lighter, I don't hate that actually. That's kind of nice. It's like this interesting speckled look. I kind of like that. Let's go with that. I'm into it. I'm going to make my Pedro dance because that makes me happy. Yeah. Okay. Oh, he's doing it again. Does he just loop dancing forever? He shouldn't. Okay, I think he's back to his normal idle. He's my favorite. I've seen the other raccoons are cool, but I like this guy a lot. He's my favorite. Cool. Okay, so we fixed the pegs to make them more visible. I kind of want to add more pegs in. I think in the near future, we need to probably just uniformly like have a grid of pegs that are perfectly gritty, and then gritty, do the gritty, and then delete them as we go, but like not do what I'm doing now, which is like, let me add one and hope it kind of goes in the right place, and hope, like, see, like those don't line up. Might be hard to see, but like these aren't in a line. So it becomes a little tricky on exactly where to put these now that I've deleted them. But I think for the sake of this level being still a just vertical slice example, I think it's okay. If we really get in a pinch, it wouldn't be that much time to like go through and add and like delete every peg and just like make a new grid of pegs. Like I'm even tempted to just do that, but we'll hold off for now. That feels about right. I think some of the, I think I should move the whole scene. I think some of these, what is going on here? Let me just click on this one peg, please. I think some of these pegs are very specifically moved because like they were getting stuck. I feel like in that scenario, it almost might be better just to delete a peg instead of move them in a weird position that they don't belong. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe because like this is a good example here where like this peg should be about here. That might get a raccoon stuck though. But now that things can be destroyed, actually I think that's probably fine. Why? I feel like some of these outside the door are like taller. What is that about? Because it doesn't look good. Yeah, like these guys are taller. The heck? Well, because I got a request to delete these anyway. Oh, this is on entry B. Actually, I didn't get... I think if they become visible, that would actually fix the problem. So, fortunately, I have to now click through each one of these. I don't know. I need someone to come tell me to delete them all and make new pegs. Should I just do it? Because I could use a grid and just snap. I think I should do it. It's scary. It's a lot of, that's like a big thing being deleted, but I think I'm going to do it. All right, we're going to keep one. Let's see, how far are these apart from each other? We like have this snapping on. It's currently snapping as X20. Oh, that is not on. That is on. Okay, definitely not 20. Let's see, it's 5 maybe? 5's a little bit much. Let's try 4. Oh, y'all, I need to remember to switch that. Sorry, y'all. 4 is actually perfect, surprisingly. Okay, so that's slightly bigger, but I think close enough. We might want to do 5 on one direction. I wonder if Plinko boards are perfectly spaced. I think they are. I don't think the rows and columns are different. Let's look that up. Or actually, let's just, I wonder if I can just get a screenshot of Peggle. I think I can probably like measure it or something. Peggle. Images. Yeah, okay. Check this out. Those are, well, I shouldn't say definitely. Can I make you much larger? No, I don't want the link. I just wanted the image. Open image in a new tab. Yeah, I can't tell. Is the distance between the rows and the columns different? How would I know? How can I test this? Let's go. I'm gonna have to open this in Photoshop, yo. Okay, let's go. Copy image. All right, we'll leave Photoshop open for some other stuff anyway. All right, let's do that. And thankfully, Photoshop is already open. Waha. All right, so now if we make a line and we go from middle to middle, there we go. That's pretty close to middle. Okay. And then why does it look like that? Okay, so that's middle to middle. And then if we rotate it, and go middle. Yeah, those are not the same. That's like, but what's annoying is it's not like a significant. Okay, so now we know they're not the same. Let me look up Plinko spacing. Oh my god, what is this monster? Okay, there's some really, really complex looking. Plinko peg spacing. For Plinko peg spacing, aim for the gaps to allow your tokens to fall freely, blah, 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 with gaps in the first row pegs, approximately 3. I'm skimming this, trying to do it fast. Okay. Make the board surface. The board surface is the platform Plinko pegs will be mounted to. The size of the surface really depends on blah, 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 blah. Using the spacing mentioned previously, blah, 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 blah. We marked out the peg location in a single row and then do the next row down so the pegs will fall to the center of the gap above. That is not helpful. I need just like a specific measurement. I don't love that I'm just sitting on a shot of the Plinko board, peg. Where's my game? There's my game. I would like to know the peg spacing. You know, I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. It can do the research for me. You go search the interwebs for Plinko board spacing. Plinko, no, ChatGPT first. Y'all can enjoy my search here. How far apart are the pegs? Well, are the rows and columns of a Plinko board equally spaced? It seems the pegs are horizontally maybe a bit closer together than they are vertically. For example, in this screenshot of Peggle, it doesn't appear they are perfectly spaced horizontally and vertically. Do I have it? Yeah. All right, let's see how it handles this.
Oh, it's going to analyze the spacing for me. Cool. You do that. It's trying. It's analyzing. You're right. To notice the pegs and peggle don't seem to be perfectly evenly spaced. To confirm this, I can analyze the spacing. Based on the analysis, the average horizontal spacing is approximately 30,000 pixels. The average vertical spacing is 40,000 pixels. This suggests the horizontal spacing is smaller than the vertical spacing, meaning the pegs are not perfectly evenly spaced. Okay. Well, that doesn't really tell me anything other than I was right. Oh, that is hilarious. I put my bottle down right there, and I'm just in. Yeah. Well, I want to know, like, I don't feel like this is like an accident, right? Like, let's see. I'm going to say peg spacing. I want to know. I want to know the science, y'all. I want to know the science. Let's look up, because I feel like Peggle, sure, like it was such a big game. I feel like like mobile games are wild. Like they get very like scientific about their stuff. I want to know like what I want, like an official something formal. What would be like the most legit? I feel like probably this, right? This is like some kind of betting thing. So maybe I should take this one, copy image, and like let's send this into ChatGPT. Where's the actual window that I want to be sending this in? Yeah. Can you analyze the spacing on this as well? My goal is to determine an exact ratio, as I assume the developers these games found most ideal spacing. Did I hit? I thought I hit go. Is it thinking? Is it trying? Oh, there we go. I hit enter, but apparently that doesn't send it. It just makes a gap. Yeah, to me, like my eye may be wrong, but there definitely is like a diamond shape. Like any one of these, like if you look at any four, they're more of a diamond shape. Now ours is interesting because we're going from multiple directions. It looks like the detection didn't work as expected, likely due to the contrast or size of the pegs in the Plinko board. I'll refine the detection attempt to extract the spacing. Interesting. See, that doesn't seem right. Indicates that the horizontal spacing is slightly wider. I don't think that's correct. I don't. All right, we're gonna have to do this ourselves, y'all. All right, let's get this Plinko board image. I feel like this is like what ChatGPT would be good at, so it's kind of annoying. Open link in new tab. No, not link. Open image in new tab. That's what we want. maybe this image is better. Can you double check the spacing? It definitely feels like something ChatGPT should be really good at. It's like white dots on a blue background. Like, just give me the distance. The vertical did not yield a result. Okay, now I'm mad at you, ChatGPT. I'm upset with you. Let's do like a little more searching. I feel like there's people have played this game. Like, it's an old game. There should be something on how the spacing is. It's consistent. Like, if I look at it, like, I see this diamond shape. Trying to think of how do we accomplish this? So I look at this one. This one looks more even, but I don't know if that's the way we want it. Like, I trust the more. This one seems fairly even as well. I feel like the diamond shaped ones seem to be the more current modern ones. I'm intrigued on this one just because yeah, those all seem perfectly even. All right, let's go back to our Photoshop here and let's make a new. Why can't I do new? What's going on here? Okay. So if we were to again draw a line, center to the center. It's 4.43. The hard part here is that I don't have a circle directly in line, but I can actually fix that. I can take this. That was weird. And I can just directly slide it over, and now we know that that should be straight in line. And then this one we can just transform, do 90 degrees. It's really close though. I mean, like, it's genuinely like, it's such a small difference, which is weird. Like, I would think it'd be some other relationship, but so vertically, this guy, what is this guy's deal? Can I get like length? 94.89. I wonder if I could say 95. Oh, that did not work. Okay, so 95, and then this one. Why I'm getting like different settings, which is odd. I want to modify this line. Okay, it's 63 pixels. I wonder if we could say 65. I wouldn't say 65. It looks honestly like it's past middle, if anything. Yeah, I mean, if I went, yeah, I think 65 is wrong. Maybe anything. It's 63 by. Wait, actually, that's saying 63 as well. So is it just an optical illusion? That's so weird, guys. When I move it out of the line tool, it seems too long. But then when I start looking at the size, it says it's 63. All right, I'm just gonna maybe eyeball it in the scene, do a couple rows, and then just duplicate. And that's what we're gonna do. The one annoying thing that we're gonna run into is I have some of these pegs coded to turn off when certain spawn points come in. But I can live with that, and because we have a bunch of weird things like those are up, and I'm not liking it. All right, so we're gonna keep a peg. Make sure it's a good one. Are you a good one? I feel like you could be lower. All right, we will keep you number 14. It is your lucky day, number 14. You are the chosen one. We're gonna save, and then yeah. Wait, did I delete all the pegs? That's not what I meant to do. I'm gonna delete up until 14 because I like like the look of its jib, or whatever that saying is. I feel like maybe I should keep a couple around 14 because I might need to know the distance that we've established. So maybe I will keep. See, actually, I don't even like 14. What have I done? I was like in the house that I picked one. Yeah, what the heck? Okay. Okay. Now we're deleting some. All right. So yeah, I mean, I think this diamond shape is pretty close. I think it's a little too spaced out. So if we just took that guy and moved him in a little, then we snap it to the grid maybe. Can we snap this one to the grid? See, that's weird. Let's... Yeah, see, I don't like that. Is it different on the two axes? Oh, no, I don't want all axes. I want X and Z. Yeah, see, that doesn't work great because now I can't get the diamond shape. Let's try cutting it to 2. Nope, not Y. Okay, so this would be 0.1, or like the first spot. So that would be the middle row. Yeah, I don't like that either. That's not enough space. All right, so let's try 3, I guess. It feels a little big. Yeah, it feels ultra big, honestly. So yeah, that would be if we didn't mess with the positioning at all. So maybe we do like 1.5 so that way we can bring these in. Yeah, even that seems too much. Man, this is tricky. That kind of looks okay. It's maybe a little tall. I don't know. Can I like superimpose? Let's try something. Where did our diamond go? Oh no, I lost it. Oh, it's this one. I want it to spin. I want it to be like that, but I want it to be perfectly up and down. I think this is kind of painful. I think we might need to go by 0.5, which at that point it's not much of a snap, but that doesn't seem tall enough. You know, actually, it might be okay. I'm looking at this other board on my other screen. If I hop over here and we look at like, it's just like a pencil. We look at this. I think that looks okay. But I guess what we really need to do is make sure we get that shape right. All right, so let's do another couple. I think I want to make, I don't know if I want 0.5. I think I have to make it 1 to make this work. Well, actually, hold on. If we take these guys, who am I clicking on? It's funny, like these are the things that like aren't on the list, but it's good. It's good that we do this. What did I click on now? Clicking on something that I don't want to click on. Okay, so now if we copy this, okay. And then we can delete one of these. And then same with this. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think this is right. Because if I'm looking now at my And my shape here, this is looking way too wide. Compared to this. I think I need to like put this as a texture and superimpose it. Let's try that. So let's get rid of that and let's just go. We don't need to be super specific. Let's just take a square. Oh, sure, you're your own layer. All I want is that image trim. Sure. And then I want to go file, export. I call this grid 1 downloads. Sure. Okay. I just want to get this right because I'm going to delete everything and put all new pegs, which I've already deleted most, so I'm kind of in it now. I want it to be right. All right, so we're just going to import this as a texture and we're going to match it. Okay, I think I could just drop it in. No, is that not a thing anymore? Okay. Fine. We will make a new object. Okay, and then throw the grid on. Oh, come on, are you multiple? You are. All right. We'll make sure we preserve aspect. Oh, does it not have preserve aspect? Darn. Okay, we do not want to do it this way because this is not reliable. We're going to do it on the UI layer, which I've probably made completely unclickable. Yeah, okay. So now we need to UI image. We'll throw on the grid. We'll say preserve aspect, which is very important. Very, very important. The heck did it go? Okay, let's find our things here. And we can put it. Ideally, if we can get just right, we can get it above the floor, but below. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, and then we kind of want to get these. Yeah, that's pretty perfect. All right. So now, rotate it this way. Yeah, that's so different. Now, of course, it depends on like the peg size, right? Like the ball size. I think that might be a little. Looking at like my general spacing, I think we may want to go bigger. So we may want to go something closer to that. So, but I do really want to keep it to a grid position. I think that's going to be really nice. Let's go back. Let's go 0.25. Not great. It's not great. We might have to figure something out. I feel like the smallest increment I would want to go is 0.5. If 0.25 was like perfectly centered, I could get behind that, but it's not. There's no way that's... Wait, what's going on here? 0.5 is what I meant to say. Interesting. Well, this is a bit of a predicament because if I want to match this grid exactly, it's not going to be scaled properly. Like it's not going to. If I want to match this image, it's not going to fit my grid. With that said, my puck is smaller. And if I want to make the actual dots be the same, now we're talking here, but then it would imply that the pegs are smaller. So there's always the idea like I can way oversize this thing. If I can get maybe if I kind of move this, so like these here were about the right size from previous versions. So yeah, it looks like it would want me to tighten up the width a little bit. But this is roughly the size. So if I then took this here, those are all perfectly aligned. So let's see if I can get this one aligned. Seems promising. Okay. I can live with that. Let's see. I'm curious if I go bigger grid. If I go 1, if this is like an even 1, 2, 3. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I cannot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's perfectly 6. And then from center, 1. Yeah, from center it does not go perfectly. It would have to be maybe 0.5s. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm cool with this. This feels like it could be right. And it could also now it matches our canvas here, which is nice. Let me get rid of these other ones so it doesn't throw me off. Ooh, not everything. All right, so we're going to take these guys. And we are going to do that. I like that. I'm liking this. This feels good. I like the grid snapping. That makes me happy. Feels like it's doing what it should. Just trying to delete some of these. And actually now at this point, I should probably just delete all of these pegs. Are we pegless? Not quite. There's some over there that need to get gone. Where do you guys live? You guys live here, and you should not. Okay, and then there's still some more here. Cool. All right, so now we can take the existing pegs and start replicating. Now, I wonder if I line up, I guess, any of these on a dot, it should just be correct. But we will have some overlap if I'm not careful, which we do right here. I don't like that method that I just did. That was like very happy-go-lucky. I think let's try to get a square going. I have 2 in each of these. That's not good. And we have 2 in here. Ugh. Not off to a great start. Is it 3? No, it's 2. Okay. Okay. So let's move you here, you here, you here, here. Okay. Now we can get rid of this sprite thing. Sweet. All right, we now have the beginnings of a reliable grid. And we could then set this to 6, I think. And if we moved it, yeah, it would go there. We will have to delete those 2. So it's almost like I should set it to 9. Let's see. So if I set this to 9. Oh, actually, hold on. So if this is 6, that's 2. So we need to do maybe 3. Is it 3 across? Okay, so it's 3 across. And then on the Y, I think it's 6. That didn't seem to make a difference. Oh, it's because we need to go Z. Okay, so that seems correct. So now we should be able to copy all these, go down, but we need to add an additional 3, I think, on the Z. So let's try 9. Okay, that worked. And then if we wanted to go over, I guess it would be the width of this, which is, oh my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So right now that's 1, I think 27. Let's see. Yep. Okay. So I think, do we have doubles again? No. Okay, good. It just seems like that's a lot of pegs for this little tiny square. It's pretty dense. I guess we'll have to test it. Oh, is there a gap? That's annoying. Okay, so I think back to 3. Okay. Okay, so now we can select all those again. There you go, 27. Chunk, chunk. It's interesting how, even though I copied that, it still leaves that gap. That's okay. Actually, no, there's no gap. But we definitely are more than we need to be. We can see it kind of spills off into there, so we can delete some of these here. Basically any of these dudes. Assuming, nope, it's actually not as straightforward as all that. Deleting these. Okay, so now that goes all the way to the edge of the board. We are leaning into the pegs here. So now we're going to go this way. This way. I hope performance-wise this doesn't freak out because this is a lot more pegs than there was before. I don't really know if we need them behind the launch location. But I also kind of want to just be thorough. Okay, now we could take all, actually, before we do that, let's get the upper area. Cool, and then now we can delete these ones that are sitting up right here. Boom. Okay. Now we're able to God, there's a lot of these. This is a performance risk for sure. And this is almost half the map. It's like a third. Yeah, it's not liking me making this many objects at all. At all. Okay, I think I need to shrink my grid. Let's go down to 3s just so I can get the right distance. That's correct. I think it's just there's this annoying issue. There's going to be these gaps. But I can go in and fill those one by one. Yeah, that was 1/3. Waiting for it to copy paste again. It's not quite in the right spot. Wait, is it? Oh, no, I guess that is. I was thrown off by the dotted line that's right there, and then the gaps. So now we need to fill those gaps. I think I can do this in kind of more of like a single swoop instead of having to do every single one by hand. Because there is a lot. There's a lot of pegs. I'm just curious if I hope they're like the right gaps, like the distance is right. Sorry, going through. I'm just clicking through these pegs here. All right, so now I have this row, and I can do this, and then I can also paste that in wherever the next joint is, which I see is right there. And I think there's one more. No, that was the only two joints. Because then the other's at the very far side, which isn't even visible on camera. Okay, we have pegs everywhere. So it would be kind of a TBD on how this feels. It looks interesting. I think it's a little overwhelming. There was an idea that we could maybe use these as like halftone colors, which I think could be kind of neat. And then if we put on the colliders, if I just, there's way more pegs than there were before, like a lot. There's a lot of these pegs. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So if we start to go in, we would then start to like basically pull the pegs out of areas that that have objects that would basically get in the way of. It's going to be really tedious though, I think, to know exactly. Do I have two there? Oh no. How many doubles do I have? That's not a good sign. Oh wait, okay. Is it only... Oh no. That's a huge risk. Oof. Okay. That's not good. Because we don't know how many duplicates in the same spot. Oh no. Thought I checked for those. How many if I just grab a random one and delete? Oh, that's not good, y'all. We got doubles. Okay. We're gonna have to undo all that work. Gonna have to go back to a single row that we can check to make sure there's no doubles. Oh, I can't even undo more than that. Oh my God. Nightmare. It didn't take that long, but still, like... Man, that's so disappointing. Okay. Let's go through here and see what we got going on. I think I even want less than this. I think we'll start with anything that is maybe I can just group select these things. Then it needs to be a small enough collection that I can actually check all of the things. Man, we had it. We had it. That's all right. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. These. Get rid of you. Get rid of you guys. And get rid of you, random peg. Oh, and there's random pegs over here too. Jeez. Okay, we gotta be extra careful. Oh, there's a bunch of pegs in the wall. How annoying. Okay. All right, these ones seem to just be these. So now we need to check for every single one for double. And the only way I can think to do that is to literally click on each one. Now there's not that many, but it's really, really important. Like this thing's already going to be like a big performance risk. So it's, let me start. Is this, yeah, let's move this out of the way for a second. Yeah, it's gonna be super important performance wise that we don't have any doubles. And when we're like copy pasting, we have a lot of doubles. That's gonna be, it's just gonna exponentially get worse. Okay, check that row. Check the middle row. Right, so far so good. So I think this is a clean section. It might have only been when I was copying left to right that things got doubled, but it's just I couldn't be sure. And we're looking at thousands and thousands of game objects, and that will affect your performance negatively. Okay, this is a safe collection. So now this part, I need to make sure that I actually because really, yeah, that's wrong. We're gonna have to shift that over. Let's see. Let's put that to 3 also for a second. I want to make sure that this gets dropped right in where the center would be of those next. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm just making sure that gap is correct. So you can see that center line is what all we need. Okay, just make sure I didn't do something crazy. No, okay, good, good. Now let's drop the center line in. If I can get a good highlight, that would be save me some time. Cool. Okay. So we should have no doubles. We should be clean. I think it's really important that I okay, so actually let's remove this bottom row for the sake of it should be easier to copy paste this. There we go. Okay, and now the trick here is we just need to make sure we don't undo or redo our problem that we had last time by accidentally layering it on top. That would be bad. So we just did all that work to undo our mistake. We do not want to make it again. It's amazing how many pegs are needed to get across this board. But I feel like it'll make the turns more interesting. We'll see. We might do a run and be like, this sucks. And then we like undo all this again and like double the space. Okay. Yeah, maybe before I delete those like back ones, maybe we make sure like this actually feels good. I do think it's kind of hard to know if it feels good without testing like a more or less complete pegged up map. Don't really need to worry about putting it behind the one maybe though. All right, let's make sure that this does not go on top. Yeah, it is not going on top. It leaves that gap like it did last time, and we can fix that. Get down close to make sure. Yep, we're good there. I think that's fine. I don't think we maybe need one by the garage, actually. Okay, down close for the final one. Yep, that is fine. Okay. Let's see how it feels. I think it'll be interesting to see, like, if we just launch. I think it's a little weird that the pegs are like on top of the launch point, so we'll have to probably delete some around that. But let's just see what happens. And of course, there's these gaps that are like here, you know, like these like little gaps that would need to get filled. But we might find this whole thing is just way too crowded. It's taking a long time to hit play, so I'm hoping it might be because of all of these pegs, honestly. But I also haven't hit play mode in a while, and I've had this open all day, so sometimes that can cause problems. We could probably load these in sequentially. That might also help, but it's not trying to load them all in at once. And it's like fill up. That could be kind of fun. Actually, I think I'll do that. I think I'll write a little script. I think that sounds fun. Okay. Let's launch. Let's be red. I think it's too many. It's just too much doop, 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 doop. Like it just doesn't feel interesting. Like you don't ever build up enough speed is the problem. So cool. That's fine. I'm glad we tested that. So we need to space them out more. So see if we have enough undo history that I can get back to. I guess because there's so many game objects, it's taking up a lot of history or something. Because I can't ever. Yeah, there's over 4,000 game objects and just pegs alone. So yeah, definitely something we want. I'm trying to carefully decide like what I'm going to delete. I mean, I guess we're kind of starting over with these pegs. Isn't this funny? This is like what I ended up doing tonight. Like not at all what I planned on. Yeah, let's just start over, right? We're going to start with 4. And I think we want, let's just go twice as wide. So, in that case, I might actually want to get a better, let's do that. I wish these would group in a way that made a lot more sense. Like the order of the game objects just does not help me delete them in a easy way. Wait, did I just delete somebody I didn't want to? But I mean, this might have like a significant impact on how the game feels and even like just the impression of the game as you're playing it. Because like if it looks like a bunch of pegs, it's gonna feel different than if it's super wide open. Okay, so now yeah, we're going to double things. So that would mean taking this row and going another. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go down and then delete. Double might be a lot.
And then these would go every other one. And then I guess these would go in the middle. No, yeah, what is going? This is weird. It's a weird way to do it. I think it accomplished what I meant. It just was kind of like said a weird way to do it. If they were to nicely go together, we would delete that one, and we would actually need to. Let's see. Let's go 3, 3, 6. Just trying to like figure out the number that can make this easier. 6. Nope. What weird value are you? Because it's not 3. It's like 4.5. Yep. Yup. Okay, so they're kind of a strange distance apart. But we can work with that. All right, so this is much larger spacing. In fact, double the spacing. I am a much bigger fan of how that's going to fill the map. And in fact, I don't think we're going to do the full map. Let's go ahead and try and just set up this opening area to see how it feels. Wait, what is that? Is there why is there some weird pegs in there? Who the heck? Okay, hold on. You are not permitted here, weird random peg. Because if this works, this is going to be still my baseline that I build everything else off of. So, but yeah, this is much less scary. I mean, it's still a lot. Like, it's still going to be honestly probably too many pegs, but I am much less intimidated by this. I hope it's not too spread out. I hope this is okay. Let's see here. Oops, I didn't get all of them. We need all the pegs. Alrighty. Oh, that is like way more than I need, but that's all right. We can do that. And I should be able to just delete all these excess ones pretty easily. Trying to keep performance reasonable. Okay, let's hit play. Let's see how that feels before we go any further. I think the uniformity will help design. And then we could even like drop the lamps like over the top of specific dots. Why is there a weird dot there? Hold on. I'm hoping these are just like some leftovers. No, they got copied each time. Man, I thought I was so careful. I hope that wasn't all the way up. Oh, it sure was. How annoying. Yeah, I'm just going through and deleting these junk ones that should not have made it in. I think that's all of them. I'm not seeing any other weird ones. Okay. Let's try again. I'll still want to like, again, clear the sort of
positions and delete around certain furniture objects and walls. Better yet, though, is probably putting walls and furniture objects on those grid points. Would be probably a better way to look at it. Just keep everything on a grid. Spawn in Mr. Raccoon. So the good news is he was able to run straight through. I think this feels better. Like there's maybe a lot of free roam. Like I think maybe it's maybe a little open. Let's see. Let's go through this door. I can be any class. We'll be scout. Why not? You know, I actually think it's okay. I think it could be closer together, but I don't think it's bad. So maybe something I'll do real quick is just tighten these lamps onto the dots. They're not placed super strategically anyhow. And then that way we're not having the issue where like they might get stuck up against two things. It won't work for every object, but at least for our for the lamps, because they're an easy thing to position. The walls and stuff will take a little more time. So we may do that. We may wait on that. Because I kind of like the idea of not even deleting the pegs. Like they all stay there, and then walls are just like this one, for example. Like we could just vertex snap to the center of the peg. Go there. Vertex snap this one. Is that tilted? That is tilted. No, it's not. Okay. Eyes are playing tricks on me. That is weird. My brain totally tells me that's tilted. And then even here, like this angle, right? Like this angle probably should match the two pegs. I think this will help make just the level feel better in general. Oh my gosh, my mouse is not behaving. Cool. Yeah, so see now that wall is tightened up to the pegs. We could do some of these easy ones. It's like this one, chink. Then we would open this wall up or move it there. Actually, is that? Yeah, and then actually this wall would need to go here, and then this one would go here. I like that. Yeah, this just feels better, like snapping these things to these grids. It feels intentional, I guess, for lack of a better word. So that would have to go there. This could then be shorter. Yeah. I think this will really help with level design moving forward. Like maybe we can eventually make a rule where it's like you can kind of go halfway between 2 points or something, but I think right now just sticking like very rigidly to the dots. Wouldn't there be, I think it's just hidden. Oh yeah, it's just underneath, so it's hard to see them. It's probably easier if I just take this and do that. Then
then slide it over. Oh no, I need to keep it on that. This one I can pull across to tell me how short to make this one. And now I can pull this across. Cool. Don't know how helpful these ramps are anymore, honestly. I think I want to get rid of that one. I think I'll get rid of these as well. Cool. And then, yeah, tighten this guy up. Yeah, so now we can start to see like that middle hall now fits the grid. And if we look over at our scene, it's subtle. Like it's not like, oh my gosh, that area is like so good now, but it builds in some constraints. Like we now are like, hey, this is what is allowed to happen here. I think this one's short. Yeah. We are allowed to put pegs here. Now something like this peg, I guess that's fine. Because you can go around it, but like we could delete that. I don't think we should though. I think like we just keep a pretty consistent grid. Now a lot of the other games like Peggle and stuff, they make shapes out of their pegs. Even Pegland does that. So maybe we eventually go that route, but because we have walls and things, maybe we don't. Maybe we treat this a little bit more. What's the word? More like halftone sort of dot art sort of thing. And then maybe all these boxes shift a little to go like that. Yeah, there's just so many little things now. Like I would want to take this, make sure I click on the right thing. These things have a weird hierarchy. Yeah. So like moving this, I put it over the top of a peg. And I probably would delete that peg maybe. Yeah, because that actually gets in the way. So actually that peg I would delete. So you go away. Sweet. Okay. I think that's good for now. Yeah, we would just eventually want to get some more actually. Yeah, this one, for example, this like random room, like you can see it's way off from the grid. So we'd want to do things like snap this one on. We can do that one, I suppose, and then maybe we'll move on to other stuff. Let's see. Where are the closest? Okay, you are kind of close to this one. So we can do that. But yeah, we would need to move this hall a bit. Yeah, like this thing. Yeah, basically we just need to go backwards, which means we're gonna mess up our little line there, but that's fine. You go here. You go there. Then this one could go back here. And I think we get rid of that. I don't think we need that. Oh, that is not on point. Let's fix that. Okay. It looks like maybe you're a little short. And then now we got to move this box, which I want to be careful about moving this one. So it's going to be that cube. So cube 1 and cube 4. Let's do global, slide it back. Oh, even need to get the on label as well, which is somewhere else entirely. Where's our cube? And then cube 4. All right, we slide those back. And actually, the little power line seems to be in an okay spot, so that's good. The trigger zone is not in a good spot, though. Where is the trigger zone? Oh, it's this. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. We can slide that on back. In fact, I think it's too generous. Like, I said it that way intentionally, but I don't like it being that big anymore. And then we should slide this eyeball back too while we're at it. Something like that. Cool. And then I don't actually think we need to update the dotted line. It still like goes across the front of it. I think it's clear. It looks like maybe, did I mess up the width? I did. So this needs to go to the center of a peg. Now, it's not 100% perfect. Like you can see, it's a little forward, right? Like I think that's probably okay. In a final level, I would like to maybe find a way to improve upon that workflow so it's not like kind of eyeballing it and we're just using an actual grid. I think that'll just be a matter of scale. Like every wall will have the grid on for their scale adjustments. Cool. So now if we go back here, we can see that now hits the grid properly. So yeah, maybe off stream, because I think at this point it's probably boring to watch. I might go through and just stick all the walls onto the grid. And it might be a good chance to like play with level design and mess with some things too. All right, let's get to something else on our list. Been working on this one for a while. Finding my list. Oh, that's what I think a little fun thing to do would be to like make things spawn in sequentially. All these pegs. It's like, it's not necessary. It's like, is this really what I should spend my time on? But sometimes we just got to do what feels fun, right? And oh, actually, before we do that, we should extend this thing so it actually fills up the whole map. Our grid's off. Shoot. Because, I mean, there is a bit of concern. It's over 1,000 objects. It looks like it's almost to 2,000. So we're going to probably cross the 4,000 to 6,000 range. Excuse me, jeez. All right. So let's get in there. Make sure we do not stack things. I do not want a repeat of what happened earlier. Oof. What? Is our grid on? Why you no work? So if I took you, moved you over. Yeah, that's not right. Right. I'm very confused. So that's on the grid, but the other ones aren't.
It's like every fourth. What is my X value? It's 3. Let's do 1. Just I'm curious if these 2. See, why is it jumping like that? Oh man. Why has it gotta always be something? Yeah, it's like only those are on the grid. And then the in-betweens somehow aren't. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what the heck that's all about. All these went down so nicely. But I guess I didn't check the... Was it all vertical? I'm tempted to like eyeball it, but after all that, like really? Like, how are you gonna eyeball it after all that work? All right, let's put things down to 0.5 for a second, and let's see if we can get this working. Okay, hold on before I copy paste. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get this thing lined up somewhere. Where is X? Ooh. Okay. Okay, that... No, it's off. Man, what the heck? How are we going to solve this problem? Because this seems like it's just barely off, which makes me feel like somehow all of the other ones left the grid. So maybe what we need to do is grab all of these and snap these to the grid. Except we just did the buildings to it. Ugh. All right, let's go back to, yeah, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Okay. So if we were to move these... Let me move the blue. Okay, so I moved it left and then right in the hopes that if I were to make a new one... Yeah, see, what is that about? So I take you, copy paste. Yeah, it's all off. So then why wouldn't, if I took all of these, why wouldn't they all update that way? Okay. Think I might have fixed it. Giant question mark. You know what there could be? There could be something to do with moving them across a distance. I'm making mistakes. Let me try to put these under a parent. And then now I can just move it very carefully. It's 0.1. I think I can at least do 1. Now it loses itself somewhere, which is such an odd phenomenon. Like, we only change the X. Yeah, it's like somehow dragging it with the gizmo is like changing other values. Because, yeah, now that lines up fine. So here's the tricky part. Now I figure out the exact distance. Like, what would that next position be? So I could just type it in.
Actually, that's not so hard. We can just take this. Actually take two of these. Okay, so then we have that. We will have to remember to delete. Actually, we can do it now. That one, now that one will need to be deleted shortly, but before we do that, we can grab this and slide it over on the X until it is perfectly on top of that one, and then just round the number if it's slightly off. It doesn't look like it is, which is good. Does that mean I need to go one deeper? Like we need to go there? No, because then that... It's hard to tell. Yeah, see, even that one is like ever so slightly off. Like that is on. Must be 6? So weird. Okay, whatever. And then we have these little punk things here. And we'll delete all of these excess. It's really hard to get like the camera angle lined up so you perfectly get a straight line. Yeah, it's like... Okay. Okay. We do have this gap here, which needs to be filled. I think if we make this 3... Ooh, did not mean to pop that open. Let's close tab, discard. Yeah, it's not 3. That means we have to take these two, line it up with some smaller increment. Yeah, the other one went so well. I don't know why this one is giving us so much trouble. It's unfortunate because we worked so hard to get everything to snap to the grid. We're so deep in it now. I just don't. I don't know. So if I just take one, like I just take this guy over here. Is he on the grid? Well, I guess the only way to know for sure is like to copy a new one. Yeah, so it seems to think that they aren't on the grid. If I take these, it's such a weird thing. It's like if I grab a bunch, it's cool. But if I grab like 2, it's not. Is it something to do with if I move it only on one axis versus like multiple axes? Okay, maybe there's something to that. No, yeah, now it's off. Very, very strange. So in theory, if I grab all of these, I mean, if I should grab every single peg, I'm gonna get these guys out of the parent. I don't want them under a parent. Come on. I know it's moving a lot of objects, but you can do it. All right. So I just want to move, I want all of these to snap to the grid. My hope is if I move it ever so slightly off. Yeah, that felt like it just snapped. Just moved ever so slightly. And I mean, with our walls, it was such a small movement, it's not a big deal. But now, crossing our fingers here, if we take this, and then we go on the grid. No, why? Why are you not on the grid? Hmm. See, and then that lined up. That is so, there's just some weird, this is probably just me missing something obvious, but there's just some, feels like some weird stuff happening. Okay. So if we, oh, see, I just saw it jump again. Right? Did I imagine that? Yeah, see, it just jumped down. Like, why you do? Oh, if you hold control, you get rid of the, you turn off the snap, which is interesting. Yeah, like why is that like that? All I can do is put it to like 0.5 and hope for the best at this point, I think. Just trying to keep things to the grid. Once I get enough of these, I can, yeah, copy and paste them for distance, which is great. That's, I guess, might as well get this bottom one real quick. Okay, now we feel like we're starting to lock into the grid, which is wonderful. Okay, so now I can just get this row, little seam that basically got omitted, and we can, oh, actually, let's get all four. And then we'll just have the one overlap as our safety net just to make sure. See right there, if I was sloppy, we would have missed it. And then each time it'll get longer, so we'll have less and less of these to do. Is that all of them? Nope. Getting closer, but we still got, ooh, more to go. Now it's getting so long, it might actually be hard to select them. I'll say that's enough. I don't need to get all of them. Okay, cool. All right. We got the seam filled in, which is great. What, didn't we? I guess there was a seam here too, question mark? That's odd. But okay. We will try not to be too concerned with that oddity. And then we need one more. Okay. We don't need these random extras out here. So we want to keep it nice and square. Okay, that is the majority of the map, but we aren't done, so I can't just stop. I feel like you were bright for some reason. I don't know why you were bright. All right, let's get all of these and do one big chunk in the back. It's like we're, yeah, nearing 3,000 game objects, which is not great, but we will survive. All right. So my hope is that
I don't have to do a lot of meticulous work here to make sure this lines up. But that hope would be too bold. Let's see. Yeah, we're back in the same situation where I'm just gonna hate lining this up without the grid because it feels like all that work that we did is for nothing. Yeah, like that's just ever so slightly off. It doesn't matter. I hate it. I hate it. But it's like the tiniest fraction of a percentage off, and I just can't. We can't keep spending time on this. We gotta move on. Just gonna delete these back ones. So who knows? We might get feedback that people are like, I hate this grid system. It's so annoying. It looks so dumb. So I think it would be better to use our time on other things. Wait, is that not, did I go too far? No. Wait, did I? I'm so confused. We want to delete just this row. Oh my God, that's not even kind of straight up and down. I feel like this is its own mini game. Like, can you make your camera straight to draw a straight gizmo? That will look good. Select only the objects you want. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do there. Whatever. I'll just click on them individually. Like a peasant. Or single clicking. Cool. That is pretty satisfactory. I think now we do need to delete some holes around the spawns because it's annoying to like immediately hit something. Don't think that's very satisfying. And I think it also helps like bring attention to like, here is a spawn point. It is a nice, safe, open area where you should feel happy. I don't know why you should feel happy about the spawn area, but you should. Like, I can't wait to launch. Let's do it. Sure. The diagonal one's kind of weird. It's like I'm trying to make this like circle around it, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I guess that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many to delete. And here, number 3. I feel like ideally I would put the spawns on a very specific point and delete a very exact amount of pegs around it. In a perfect world. Sure, that is fine. Actually, it's kind of a lot in the back to be deleted. Maybe not enough in the front. We don't need that. Oh, God, that's the whole world. We just deleted everything. Okay. Sure, this will work. Okay, number 4. Nope. Every time I click away and then hit delete, I'm like, I don't know what I might have just deleted, so I always hit undo. Okay, that one I think is okay now. And then we are going to run into the spawn points that come up that should be deleting things, but they won't be. So we'll have to handle those on a per spawn point basis. Is there any other of those weird pegs? So I guess, is there any like massive areas that have pegs that we don't need? It's hard to know what's in camera. like, I'm pretty sure most of these out here are not needed. Everything behind 3 and 4, basically. So like this whole area probably be deleted. Yep. I'm watching the game camera and like, yeah, you can't see any of these. Oh, I saw some of those. How about any of these? Did that delete anything? I'm like trying to watch the camera and see if any delete, and I did delete a few in camera. So I want to be careful about, oh, yeah, see there, I did it again. So going maybe more towards 2. Yeah, none of those are visible. Nope, some of those were. How about in this corner? Okay, cool. Just like kind of cleaning up a little bit of these game objects. So there's not a ton. I think all of those are pretty needed. Like maybe some in the corner here. Not too far. Yeah. Might be silly to have gone that in depth with it, but whatever. Because there's definitely like, I can clear out some here, and there's, yeah, like tiny bits we could get rid of. I'm really kind of surprised. Yeah, but there should be more I can get rid of back here behind 2. Yeah, because 2 is not very visible. 2 is like right at the edge of the screen. Okay. Cool. All right. I think that's all that I can get rid of safely. Okay, so let's just write a quick script that like turns these on one at a time. I think that might be a cool look. I think it actually might have been cooler to turn them all on and then disable the ones around the spawns as the spawn points popped up. So we're gonna hit undo a bunch because we can't go back really. So it's probably better to leave all these in and just disable them if I don't want them. So the grid is ever persistent on every level. It's just a matter of like what's currently turned on. Okay, cool. So then I think we'll actually move these, like I talked about, to like a better location, like where it's more on a specific, I guess like right in the middle of a node might be nice. Now, I no longer trust the grid snap, unfortunately, but okay, so something like that feels pretty good. Three, yeah, this one's trickier being diagonal. This one I'm not really sure if there's a great solution for. Yeah, that one's probably not much we can do about number 2. Number 3, we should be able to get that one on a gap of some kind. Maybe go a little further back. Give you some time to build momentum maybe. I kind of like that. That actually gives you like more angles too. So I like it going there. Okay, so I'll go between those. And then 4. I don't know how much like value it is like lining these up, but let's see. And then here, same thing. We'll put it between the 2 pegs. I guess the only downside being between the 2 pegs, if you shoot straight, you're gonna like immediately bonk off a peg. So it might, but I don't know if I like that you can just shoot straight and like get a free, unhindered path. Yeah, actually, it's probably bad to allow them to do that. So, okay, cool. So now that we have all those, we would have maybe like a sequence.
where we turn on all of these objects. So maybe these spawn points start invisible. I'd have to find. The only issue with that, I would prefer to. I guess it's just that one object here, which is the renderer and the renderer. Okay, so we could just disable this object. Okay, let's do that. So these are all disabled. Oh wait, no, sorry. That's not what we want. We want number sprite. These are all off. So when you first come in, you don't see any spawns. I just noticed that the back doesn't have any dots, which I guess is fine. I'd almost like want to have like maybe a different color for this kill zone. Where is the kill zone at? Yeah, just like a different color. Let's see. Let's give it its own material. Zone. And then now we can modify that. Okay, so I'm almost thinking, yeah, something that feels separate, so that way I think red would be distracting. So that way it's like kind of clear where the bounds of the level are. And then if you enter that other area, it's kind of game over, man. Yeah, maybe it's like a somewhat subtle difference. I don't know. That bright is kind of nice. I think that scrolling texture feels a little big. Moving knobs, seeing if something changes something. Nothing being affected by this. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. It's odd. Hmm. Yeah, it's just not accepting any changes. There we go. Okay, there's at least something changing. All right, now I have to actually see like what looks good though. I think it might have been good where it was. After I finally found a value that changes a thing that I want to change. Yeah, whatever. I think maybe it's just too different. I can get the color up that blue, and then we can just play with saturation here, or sorry, darkness value. Because we could make it black, which isn't horrible. It needs to be clearly like a different color. I think I'll go with black for now. Okay. I remember why we hit that kill zone different. Oh, it's so we could like clearly see where the edge of the map was. So then now we can take the floor. And we can, where'd our floor go? Floor. And we can bring this in now because we actually don't need to have that be a thing. So it's a little weird that the road gets cut off, so maybe we'll extend it just far enough to be like that. We are missing one peg, really? Is that where the one was, maybe? Yeah, probably. Let's see. I really don't want to have a missing peg, so let us attempt to fix it. Of course, you are off the grid for some unknown reason. There we go. Then we'll delete the extra. Okay. Sweet. Do kind of wonder. Yeah, that just bothers me. There's like random little gaps where there's should be a peg that there's not. Cool. I wonder if we should get rid of some of the junk back here. Like, do we really need to have like all of that? I think not. Oh, and then also if we do that, then what's cool about that is we can actually get rid of all of those pegs. Oh my gosh, I thought it should be unclickable kill zone. Yeah, I like that. Because before I didn't want to delete them because I want to make it consistent. Every bit of the floor has a peg on it. But now the floor ends earlier. Was that the problem? Is that everything's slightly rotated? Are you rotated? No, you're not rotated. So the pegs are all rotated slightly. That's obnoxious. But that is probably where our grid issue is. Yeah, that is unfortunate that somehow rotation got into the mix. Cool. Maybe bring that in a little tighter so it's like basically, yeah. Can we then bring the backside in a little tighter too? I just want to like go. Oh, that's right. We did it so the road was not cut off. Whatever. The road could be cut off. That's fine. It's abstract. And then let's extend this one out just a touch. I'm trying to like get it kind of consistent all the way around the border. Yeah, something like that. And that makes the backside we want to out a little bit more. Cool. Okay. Now, yeah, sequence. Let's see. Also, I should check the stream. Oh God, it's so bright. Blinko research. Nice. 2 hours and 38. So I think we'll make it. We'll hit our 3-hour goal. All right. So the sequence, yeah, it's annoying, but I think it will be kind of cool. So let's kind of imagine it here. So if we turned off all the pegs, we'd have a pretty blank level. Oh, I just noticed the inside of the house looks like it got deleted. That's unfortunate. Okay, I gotta fix that. There is a this floor object here. It's called driveway on that side, but it's also here. What's that called? Oh, it's all called driveway. That's weird. Yeah, the interior of the house was supposed to have this everywhere. Cool. I'm hoping that these diagonals don't cause a problem.
Yeah, I think just having the inside of the house have a different floor color is just a nice touch. Though I don't remember having to set this up before, so I wonder if we didn't have it like this, or if someone else on my team set it up. Because this is rather tedious, and I'm unsure how well it'll not have Z fighting when I do these diagonals. Why are you not all the way to here? In fact, do I even need this one? Can I just extend this one all the way out? Oh no, I do need that one. Okay, so I think we just now have a few diagonals we gotta hit. So that one go like that. In. Yeah, I don't see Z fighting, so that's cool. Also, we have this kind of noisy texture, which helps. Probably mask that if there was any. Cool. And one more for good measure up here. Sweet. Okay, so now from the game view, looks like that. Looks much nicer. So now, because before I noticed it, because turned the pegs off. So if we once more click on the pegs and disable them. Sweet. Yeah, that looks more interesting than it did a second ago. Okay. So we'll sequentially turn them on. My concern is the numbers they have. Are they in order? The numbers are in order, but they're not positionally in order. So if they all were to turn on in order of parent, it's going to be kind of sporadic. We can just try it first because that's the easiest. But yeah, once the pegs are on, then we'll basically shift down the ones that have spawn points and bring in the spawn points. So little tedious. It's not adding a ton of value, but I don't know. It's one of those things that like maybe by doing it we'll like discover something. We'll say like, oh, that actually does do some cool stuff, and like that does allow us to like better understand where the spawn points are or something like that. All right, so we need a script. Let's find the folder to put it in. There are so many scripts in this project now because there's just so many things I've been experimenting with. Okay, well, let's call this one opening, let's see, peg turn on sequence. Okay, so now we just need to put that on the parent object. Let's hunt it down again by clicking on a peg. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Well, I say that and then I can't click one of these darn things. Why are you importing assets, buddy? Well, we will now wait for Unity to import assets. I've anchored it. Okay. All right, there is our close-up of our cool shader. Pegs. All right, so now on this peg component, we're gonna do peg sequence, peg turn on sequence. That's right, that's what we called it. And then we are gonna get touching the code for the first time tonight. That's how it goes sometimes. All right. So let's we don't really need
because we're only going to impact all the pegs once. So I think we would just have a private void, turn on all pegs. Actually, we should make that public because I think we're going to call it from our game manager. And then we would just say, here's a nice little trick I learned years ago. If you use the current transform and you find transforms in the transform, that will iterate through all the children. So you can do child dot set dot transform dot set. Oh wait, no, it's game object. Yeah, game object dot set active true. Yeah, and let's just test it here. Oh, but that will probably be ultra fast. You'll just see them all pop on. So we actually want to do that in a sequence, enumerator, which doesn't have the right using. I think it's that one. Okay, and then yield return, wait for end of frame. That might be too slow. Why are you being difficult still? Okay, so it's not generic, it's just collections. Okay, so we need to make it coroutine, start coroutine. And now they should pop, all on. We do have to make sure they all are turned off first, which is a lot to turn off. We would probably, ideally, we'd probably have that like on awake, all children are off, but because there's so many, it's like I worry it's gonna cause like a big spike, basically waiting for them all to turn off. So actually, let's get rid of the stupid game object. I'm not using that anymore. We need to get all of our pegs. I might rename these two. But the number might be useful, so let's leave that for now. I might be able to like reorganize them by number or something. All right, so they're all off. But they should all turn on over time. It's probably going to look horrible because they're random order, but maybe that'll be neat. It's a thing. I don't think it's great. It doesn't really get in the way because they're mostly in before. Is it still turning some on? Yeah. I also just found there was like one junk one, but yeah, didn't really do much for me. Didn't really do much for me. I think them doing it in a random order and also taking so long, I think wasn't that deal. Can I find the bad one again? Oh yeah, there you are. Get out of here. Okay. We really need some way to like go through them in order. I wonder if I could just write like an editor function that could just put them in. Well, I don't think the problem is that they're not in numerical order. I think that the number
doesn't necessarily correspond. Yeah, so like it tends to be kind of in a section. We probably have to write some kind of like ray casting thing where it starts on the first one, ray casts out to find another one, turns that one on, and so on. But that would probably take maybe even longer. This might be a good ChatGPT exercise. I guess I closed it. I said I was done with you. All right, let's see. Actually, coding support got really slow because it got really long. Let's see this one. I'll give it the script as a starting place, I guess. This game object. I'd like to activate the children in a proximity-based manner. However, their order in the hierarchy is not based on world position. Maybe raycast. Maybe I won't give it an idea. How can we turn on all the children in a way that's more based on position, on activating pegs that are near each other? I hope that makes sense. Sort them by proximity before activating. This sounds like this would be a very long process. Turn on, say, we'll try it. What the heck? Let's give it a try. Sometimes it's fun to just trust it and then like see what happens. I'd say like 50-50, most, maybe not even 50-50, maybe like 30% of the time it just like does something great. And you're like, cool, that's it. So it's always kind of, for me, worth a shot to just like see what happens. Hoping that 30% works out. My bigger concern is there's a lot to sort. But I guess like this is like where I'm not strong in computer engineering is like rotations and like super fast processes like with large data sets. Just because as a game developer you don't tend to have to do that a lot. And so this could be an area again where like AI is better at it than I am, and it can handle this like large data set. All right, we are just hitting play. Oh, I forgot to turn them off first. Womp womp. Oh no, it does turn them all off for me. Okay. I don't know if it's a good idea. Okay. I just saw the code. It's like on start, it collects all of them, puts them into a list, and then sets them all to false. All right. We are running. Where's our pigs? It's not doing anything. Yeah, it fell in his face. That's cool. Why did it fail so horribly though? Like, I would have expected something better.
Yeah, no errors. Is there like a setting I needed to establish? Activation delay. It could be that because there's thousands of objects, it was still trying to get distance between each one. Let me tell it that there are 3,000 objects and see if it comes up with a different solution. I told it, hey, it didn't work. Knowing it's a lot, maybe we'll change it. Thanks for the clarification. We'll need optimized approach. Likely failed because too many distance calculations. Distance calculations are expensive. So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, ooh. Activation waves are too small. Interesting. Use a spatial grid. Okay. We'll try it. If this doesn't work, I might approach it my own way or something. And I don't know. Might also just table it and say, okay, we're not going to do this for now. And I'll just disable the pegs around the spawn points as opposed to deleting them because I don't want to delete them. All right, hit play. We will see how it does. Still a single peg is turned on. There's a small chance it's activating them inside the fog of war. I'll check the fog of war. No, I'm actually looking at the game objects now and it is not doing nada. Maybe something to do with the proximity threshold. Let me just throw that into like 10 or something. Let me see. What does proximity threshold do? Distance for grouping of pegs. This is something I would have expected it to handle better. Like I'm kind of surprised. It's using distance again. What the heck? I thought it changed that. Oh, it's kind of working. It performs really badly. Okay. But that looked kind of cool. Let me show it to y'all. So yeah, I guess the distance key was it. Oh, there's another bad peg there. Gotta get rid of that one. Yeah, I think that looks nice. It just doesn't perform super well. Maybe we say max activations per frame is 20, and then maybe we lower threshold to 6. I don't know if those will make it perform any better, but I think worth just tossing some variables in there and seeing. That's better. It still takes kind of a while. Like, I don't think it's very exciting. The problem is though, it's so expensive. Let's see if it was the threshold or if it was the max activations per frame. Then we could also maybe speed up the activation delay. It could be another option. Yeah, it's okay. It's not. I think it was a little bit of that. I'm gonna try activating it faster. See if that solves it. Because like I'm on a decently powered computer now. I don't want this to like be like I'm right at the cusp of what works well for this computer, and then I try on another computer and it doesn't work well at all. So I think I'll probably have to see if there's an optimized way to do it. But I'm curious if we just speed up the activation delay, if we can push this thing. Yeah, it doesn't. I think there's a certain point where it just can only go so fast. Let me see. Let me ask if I can. Sorry, writing ChatGPT. I'm gonna ask if is there any way we can async the most expensive functions and to avoid frame rate drop. We can have a bit of load time waiting before we start to turn on the pegs. I think that's the thing. It's like if it can do all its processing, get all the information it needs, and then just turn them all on, that'd be cool. Yeah, pre-compute nearby neighbors. This is what I was looking for. I'm not sure about the task run though. It's not something I've used before. This is kind of like a good primer if you like don't use like AI support for your coding or like seems weird to you. Like this is kind of like the flow. At least that works for me. Oops, what didn't it like? It's basically you try something, it's not typically right, and then you have to feed it other information, and you can kind of tweak things. For something that you know how to do or is pretty straightforward, it's often better just to write that yourself. Or if it's like interconnected really heavily, it's better to write that yourself. But something like this, that's like just a weird computational thing that's pretty isolated. Like, yeah, it's great for that. Yeah, I don't think this is a thing C# has. I'm gonna be like, hey, are you sure this will work for C# in a mono behavior in Unity? It's not compiling. Is there a namespace I'm missing? You're right. Task run is part of system threading, but in Unity's mono behavior, you cannot use it inside a coroutine. Unity coroutines do not support async await directly. Then why do you suggest it? Fixing the proper async handling in Unity. We should run the expensive neighbor calculation on a separate thread. Wait until you use coroutine. Okay. How are you doing it? That was like the idea to begin with. Okay, it's using threads. Again, I don't normally do really heavy computational stuff, so I haven't messed with threads either. It seems to compile, so that's a good sign.
I think we could have like a really fun opening sequence where we're getting like things kind of like load in. Oh, that's why I was like, where's my game? It's hidden behind the wall. Where things kind of load in piece by piece and like the level like forms. Say like the walls slide up, you know, that kind of stuff. I think that could be fun. And we have this whole like building the level, which is like now a perfect place to put this kind of thing. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay, it might be in the middle of doing its computation. We'll give it a minute here. I don't know how long it might think it needs to take. Feel like it should have finished by now. Let's see if it, so it's supposed to print actually it doesn't have a print in here. I mean, if it was using the same method as before, I feel like it should have found it just fine. Yeah, he should not be able to knock through those doors. Okay. Why? Yeah, because that is processing never, sim processing checkbox never turned off, and that is what should have happened. Well, I don't know the lock frame. That's interesting. All right, it's taking a little longer than I wanted it. All right, a couple more requests because we're out of my comfort zone for sure now with this threading thing. It never seemed to finish. Processing. At least the bool didn't turn off, and I let more time pass than the previous coroutine frame-based solution. Is there maybe a bug in your code? You're absolutely right. His processing flag is not being properly updated. The issue occurs because neighbor map is modified within a lock statement, but his processing is never updated after processing completes. Are you sure? Okay. It looks to me like it would, but it seems to think it found the solution. Sometimes I think it just says things to like be amicable. Like, you're right. You're always right, human. Which is cool, I guess. I guess it's nice that the robots are nice to us. But I'm not super confident that it found the problem. In fact, I don't even know if the code looks all that different to me. Looks like it removed a while loop. Now that I look closer, yeah, it removed a while loop. All right, we're gonna try this again because it was pretty cool looking. Like, it was a little slow, but I think if like the walls were like, I think if the whole level was building while those pegs were forming, I think that could be fun. And I think it'd be like a ooh and ah moment, which is always fun to get. All right. Come on. Do it. Do it. All right, not a great sign. Still hasn't done a single peg, and the Boolean of its processing is still checked. I wonder if there's some kind of debug I could put in here. Let's see, pre-comp. Yeah, like I just don't use threads. Like, is this even running? Like, presuming, oops. We can see, I'm pretty sure this never got called. Maybe I can ask if it like, can we print? Processing. Is there a debug or some other way to see if it's taking long time to process or if there is another problem? Let's add debugging. Yes, please. Where did you print them, though, is where I would like to know. My hope is that it will... Nice. Every 500 pegs. I mean, I kind of wish it was less. I guess I could modify that number, but... Let's try this. Okay. So these are debug logs, so I'll have to make sure I'm looking in the right place. Oh no, they're going to just be in the regular console. I was thinking debug.warning, but no, they're logs. It is compiling. There we go. All right. Is there any peg turn on sequence? All right, let's use that as our peg turn on. We'll just use peg. That should give us everything we need. All right, let's see. I guess we don't expect anything different on the scene because assuming all it did was add the debug logs, we're just going to read our console here. Then hopefully we see starting neighbor calculation. And then we hopefully start seeing finished processed blank pegs. All right, so we're getting still processing, getting this printing here, which is cool. There's 1,389 pegs. I thought there was 3,000, so that might be good. Oh, okay. Get position can only be called from the main thread. Okay, that's good to know. So let's do this. That's probably the error that's, even though it says still processing, I'm guessing that error is actually like causing an issue. I got the following error. Sweet. That solution sounds good. It stores all the positions first, which still could take some time, but something like that, I think storing a vector 3 isn't as expensive as calculating distance or even turning on and off game objects. That's like an oddly expensive, I shouldn't say odd. I mean, it's a visual update, but oops. But yeah, so I think that's a good solution it's suggesting. Yeah, like if you didn't know how to write code and you didn't have familiarity with like how games work at all or like how to build games, like I just think you'd be lost. You'd be like, it didn't work. And you'd just be really frustrated and like this would be a miserable experience. But because I kind of like can see like, oh, this is probably where the problem is, I can direct it to those things. And so it's more of a fun like unpacking the problem situation. So I don't know. I'm really like skeptical about like people who are like, oh, AI is taking software jobs. Like, I don't think so. Like we don't have any less engineers on our team because I use AI. Like I would just go a little slower, like, or I would avoid certain things. Like I probably would just not work on the problem in this type of way. And ooh, I can't tell. Yeah, it still wasn't great as far as like performance goes, but it wasn't totally bad. I'm trying to think of other ways, like other ways we can improve it. First, let me get rid of this. Oh, there's a couple extra. That's disconcerting. I hope there's not any extras. Okay, just those. Um, it wasn't horrible, but there was, I could tell the frame rate was dropping. Uh, maybe we say 5. I don't know, like 5 activations. So it's like a very small amount. I mean, I don't think turning on 20 game objects is that big of a deal, but and if we like do the walls and stuff and we like have a bunch of things turning on across the map, it might delay, like it might keep your interest. So you're not like, okay, these pegs are very slow. Yeah, I don't think I like that. What it was back to 100, and then this was like maybe point 0.1. I'm curious, like also proximity threshold. If I think that's like how far it searches. I don't think changing that number is going to make a big difference. Because I think it's turning on game objects is an expensive task, but I don't know. Like 20, I'm skeptical that 20 would have really slowed things down. Yeah, it definitely takes a hit on the frame rate pretty bad. Shoot. I wonder if instead of turning on the object, we just turn on the renderer. Let's try that. So instead of set active, we would do dot get component. Get component's also kind of expensive, so I'm not super stoked about that. Get component. This is a mesh renderer dot enabled false. I think this will be a faster operation to turn them on. I mean, getting them all isn't great, but where are we? Though we add them all here, so maybe instead of well, no, I think we need the transform specifically. Yeah, because we're getting distance, so we need the transform. All right, so here we are doing peg game object. So peg. Okay. let's try that. So now the pegs won't be turned on and off, just their render is going to be enabled or not. See if that performs any better. I think it might. And we're doing the get component in the processing step. So that's good. Let's see though. It hasn't started turning any of them on, which is a little bit of a red flag. Why not? Okay, claims it did stuff because I saw in the debug log. Sorry, I didn't click over here. Saw in the debug log, it says activated, but I don't see any. So we have to figure out. Oh, I'm an idiot. This was set to false, so I was like enable false. So yeah. Let's try it again. I imagine like we could have a really fun sound effect too, like that you could hear them all like fun noises of all the pegs popping up. This is like definitely like juice stuff. But I don't know. It's one of those things like it drew me in and now I'm excited to build it. So sometimes like it's good to let the game take you. Other times it's just it's the necessary evil. Sometimes I could probably just be convinced not to do this stuff, but I think sometimes working on these things can like spark ideas. Like now I have this idea that this setting up the level, there's like a building, which just could be like a really nice visual hook. Oh, that performance is so much better. I wonder if I get like better data though, like on, oh, it also doesn't help that I'm printing so many things because prints are actually kind of expensive. Let's get rid of this. We don't need the debugs anymore. Sorry, I keep forgetting to like click into the view, so you didn't get to see it, but it looks the same as it did. It's just now doesn't, the frame rate looks better. I'm kind of watching like the meter that's at the top of the screen and like seeing if it looks jumpy, which isn't like the most formal like or official thing, but it's something. But to that point, so yeah, now I would like to set open the frame rate, which is the stats bar here once it compiles. My guess is it's still not great. Like it's still going to be a little bit, but let's see. Okay, let's hit play. But I think it might be good enough. And also like you aren't playing at this moment, so if we're maybe smart with like what's animating, maybe you like don't really know that the frame rate's dropped. You can't tell. And it's not like VR where there's like a frame rate requirement to submit something. But if we go console, they might be like, yo, you can't do this. PC, it's like Wild West. You can kind of do whatever you want. Which is, I guess, why Monster Hunter, I guess, performs so badly on PC. It's like, whatever. So yeah, it did double the, I wish this could be bigger. Okay, so like just normal gameplay, we're jumping between I think I saw dip down to 30, but we're sitting around 50. It took me a minute to find the FPS there. I'm gonna hit play again and see how low the FPS gets. If it stays at 30, I'm okay with it. Obviously 30 is not great. 60 would be better, but I can live with 30. I think it's gonna go below 30. I think it's gonna go like in the teens or the high or the low 20s is my guess. So we're currently at 10, 40. Oh no, we're solid. I mean, after that first spike, it's sitting at 40. Heck yeah. My tendency to want to like just make things pretty, which is funny because I'm not an artist and I'm not great at artists, but I like pretty things. I totally want them to do like a rainbow color cycle as they spawn in. I think that would be so fun. But we will resist that urge. I wonder if I could also, though, the walls might be an easy win of like if we just have them come up. Oh, I'm on the grid. If they just kind of like ran, and these ones I think might actually look good if they randomly came up. Actually, no, I think in sequence as well. Where are our walls? So maybe we do the same thing. This could be, yeah, all the walls could open and the doors could just like pop on. I like that. I think we can literally put the same script on there. Let's try it. I'm excited. Peg turn on sequence. And there's a good lesson for you, like not to try to name things more generically because these are not pegs, they're walls. So it'd more be like game object turn on sequence, right? Because this will turn off the mesh renderer. Did I pick a weird wall? Where's one of these walls? Mesh renderer. I think it might work. It's not going to make them go up though, so we will have to tweak that. But let's just see if it like makes them sequentially turn on. We might have to increase. Actually, we're gonna have to change some numbers. Yeah, I should cancel this. It's compiling though, so. It's a funny thing to be like, I know this is not the important thing that I should be working on, but I need to work on this anyway. I'm just gonna let it play out just because we already hit play. Who knows? Maybe it'll be cooler than I think, or maybe it won't work at all. That's what it looks like it's happening. Yeah, it is no bueno. Okay, so that actually is interesting on why it didn't work. Kind of odd to me. It could be the threshold. So I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna say like 2, and then I'm gonna set this to like 50. And instead of turning on, what I'll probably do is like change the transform position. So probably lazy way is like to set a bool like, is this a wall? And then if it's a wall, it's gonna do these things differently. Sweet, that worked. Let's do one at a time, and then yeah, let's go ahead and make that change to make it raise the wall up. So we'll do public bool. I should really use a collection of an enumerator just to like have a group. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Have a group of objects that I can like select between, but I'm gonna do it the short, quick way for now. Is walls. All right, so everything's going to kind of happen the same, except what we do when we are going to turn one on. So instead of getting component enable,
we're just going to say if is walls, and then we'll say else. Yeah. So what I want to do is return it. Do we have the original position? Peg position. I wonder if I can easily reference this again. Get pre-stored position. Peg position dot peg. So when we're going through all the pegs, then here, when we're actually activating, do we have a list of pegs? We have all pegs. So we would have to figure out what number. It's is this peg. So basically I want to like raise it up to its current position. I guess they're all in the same Y, right? So like we can just kind of hard code it. Oh, are they? Are they at 1,000? Yo, what? I'm clicking on these guys and those can't be 1,000. Are they under a parent? Is my world 1,000 into the sky? That's kind of wild. I'm upset at myself. That does not seem right. Okay, well, that's its parent is at 0. Is walls within its own parent? It seems such a mess. All right. Let's see. Who do we got here? The pachinko board is still Y0. And then OG level is Y0. Levels, Y0. Too many nested game objects. Environment, 0. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, I just thought like, yeah, because okay, hold on. This floor is at 7 and it's right there. And then we go down into levels. You're at Y0. OG level, Y0. Pachinko base, Y0. Walls, Y0. And then I go into a single wall and it's 1,000. That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, I'm going to pull this out completely. It's in a prefab. I really just want to get its current height is really the thing I want to do. And I know I have the transforms. So ideally we're pulling from that. Okay. So yeah, if we can get the peg positions, we just need to know like which number in the array we're in. This peg. I think let's just test it with hard coding it just for now to see if it works, and then we can come back and optimize it. If we do local position, we know they're 1,000. I don't think that's. Oh wait, you're not all. Oh, that's a different. Wait, what are you? I have some walls over there. That's weird. Okay, whatever. I think all of our normal walls. I think these 739s, yeah, they're like the outside ones, which I should probably get rid of. But
Yeah, we can just say local position is 1000. Okay, so if it's a wall, we do peg dot. It's already a transform, I think. Yeah, it is. Dot do. Oh, we don't have do tween in here. So using dg dot tweening. Do move y because that's the only angle we want to move at, and then we would say the end value is 1000, and that's for some reason 1000.8, but I think we can ignore that. Actually, you know what? Let's just whatever. It's fine. And then how long does it take? I assume is the next thing it wants to know. So I would say probably a second. Should be long enough to like observe it and appreciate it. One might be a lot. Let's do 0.5. And then we do need to make sure at the beginning, instead of deactivating the objects, if it's a wall, we do something different. It is walls. We do child dot transform dot. Oh, it's already transformed. And we'll do move as well, just because it's easy. We just make it happen immediately. Okay. Oh, by saying 0, that might not be great. Also, I'm saying do move, not do local move y. So let's make some changes here. It's taking its time compiling. All right. So let's set the y to a specific amount because the time it takes is going to fly up. We don't want that. So we'll just say 0. Oh, actually, yeah, 0 is not far down. Okay, sure. I think, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we'll do 0, be immediate, and then it'll come up over the course of half a second. That should all work well. Say this one is walls, and we'll hit play. Now it's going to leave all the furniture and other objects kind of just exposed. And so in theory, we would have another process to like maybe scale those. Different type of animations combined tend to look nice. So the walls go up, the furniture scales, the pegs appear. All of that will look complementary to each other. All right, so hopefully the walls now disappear. Perfect. And then we should hopefully see them start popping up. Oh, they're doing a weird. Oh, because I didn't do local Y. That's probably the problem. Do local move Y. That's what we want. Okay. So I think it was calling it, but it was launching them way into the sky, is my guess. Even though we looked at the parents and it should be the same local and world, but I'm skeptical. I think something weird's going on there. So hopefully now they will slide up and look cool. We might need to slow down their rise though, based on what I briefly saw kind of pop in. I think maybe they're going too fast. Just waiting on this compile. So if this works, the next step would be that we would turn on all the doors. I think the moment all the walls finish, I think those just immediately all popping on, not sequentially, but just again kind of mixing animations, I think will be look best. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, actually 0.5 looks nice. Oh, interesting. Those are walls. Okay, so then let's find the door holders. And I think those we could just, wonder if we just put them under the walls. Like maybe we just treat those like the same way. Where are the doors? Okay. So yeah, these could all, I mean, like this whole parent object. Because there's both doors and breakable walls. So if those are both off, and then we could say when it's finished, all of that comes on. So let's just make a holder for those two things. Game object, door holder. Actually, they're all doors now, so I don't think we need two. And so door holder. Basically when it's finished. Are we tracking when this is finished now? It's just, yeah, here we go. So, it would be just outside this while loop. So if walls, because I'm going to only wait for after the walls. I don't want to wait for after the pegs. Door holder dot set active is true. Okay. So we need to make sure we put the breakable walls under doors, and then we need to assign that in inspector. And yeah, I think actually, you know, we should probably make sure it starts the map as off. Yeah, the compile times are getting longer and longer. Unity does well by restarting every so often. If you leave it open too long, your compile times seem to stack. Unless they fix that, but at one point that was definitely a thing. Oops, I did not assign the doors. We gotta stop play mode. So we're gonna put all these breakable walls into the door holder. I'm gonna have to do it in the prefab. It's annoying. That was weird. Double door there. Where's our doors? Okay. Cool. Save that. Get out of the prefab. And then this object. So we need a reference for our walls. Where's our wall object? There you are. Let's do the prefab thing again.
All right, walls need a reference to doors. Where are all my doors? There they are. Wall. Oh, I didn't commit to them. So yeah, there's just this annoying thing where the you can't seem to assign the prefab things within itself unless you're in the prefab, which is weird. Where's walls? There's walls. Okay, it has a script now, and then we just need to go down and get doors, which technically I can leave on, so our world looks normal while we're just world building. Then we hit play, it all turns off. All right, all the doors and walls are off. Yeah, it was okay popping them on. I think it might look nicer to actually do them at once. So I think we might just drop those into the walls parent. It's the easiest way. It's slightly less organized. Oh my gosh, it's open prefab. Well, and then now the walls object, we can just, but we'll just get rid of that reference because we're not going to do it that way anymore. Cool. Okay. So then now in the script, we're going to get rid of this whole concept of the doors. There it is. I do think we want to make it go a little faster. We could do 0.25 as far as it's like raise up speed. I don't know so much if it's not raising up fast enough as it's not triggering the other ones quick enough. So we'll see how this feels. And then we'll probably call it at that. Might be better to have the I won't do it on this stream, but it might be better to actually like have them scale on the side so it looks like someone's drawing it. I think that would actually like match the style a little better. Okay, let's see how this looks. Yeah, like 0.25, that feels better. Nice. Okay. So yeah, I think all the interior objects would have to kind of come in a different way as well. But I think the general idea is neat. It has my fog of war. I guess I just left off maybe. why the fog of war didn't turn on. Maybe it just turns on once. Well, no, when the first player logs in, it should show them once they spawn, or show the fog of war like pretty early on. So I'm not sure why that's not working. See if like through code or through the inspector if it looks like it's off. Looks like it's on. That was weird. I had to toggle it. Let's see if now it just works, but that was strange. Though now that our walls are building up, I think we do maybe delay it. I think all the walls and the doors go in, fog of war hits, and then all of our objects could turn on inside the house after that. Yeah, it's just not there. It's really weird that it starts as off. Cool. Okay. Well, I think we'll call it with that. Got the pegs set up in an even space. Got the animation of them sequencing on, which is part of the idea of the walls and the doors, which now kind of makes you want to do all the furniture. So basically, now we have like a level assembling animation, which I think will just be a nice kind of transition into the level. But yeah, I think that was it. There might have been some other stuff I'm forgetting, but appreciate you watching. We will